Hello, and welcome to the Community IT Innovators Technology Topics Podcast, where we discuss nonprofit technology, cybersecurity, tech project implementation, strategic planning, and nonprofit IT careers. Find us at communityit.com.
And thank you so much for doing this. Welcome to the Community IT Innovators Technology Topics Podcast. I'm Carolyn, your host, and today we have a big announcement that we have just made at Community IT. We have a new President and Chief Operating Officer, Johanny Torrico, who is with me today. So, Johanny, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, Carolyn, thank you. Yes, so Johanny Torrico, I'm the Chief Operating Officer, now the President and Chief Operating Officer for Community IT. And I started with the company in 1996, so it's been almost 20 years growing alongside with Community IT. It has been a great experience, and I'm looking forward to this podcast.
Thank you. Thank you so much for making time because I know you're really busy. So my question is, you and I did a Voices interview, I don't know, maybe a year or so ago about your career and what you do at Community IT. And I know you'll be retaining the Chief Operating Officer role and then also stepping into this new President role. So I wondered if you could tell us a little bit about what you'll be doing now that the board has created this new position.
Yeah. First of all, I'm very excited to take on the expanded role or the expanded leadership role. And you're right, my responsibilities as the Chief Operating Officer will remain. But I think with this change, my responsibilities will broaden. My strategic involvement in the company's future will be greater. I will continue to focus on ensuring the efficiency and the effective delivery of our managed services, oversee operational performance, continue to foster the culture of excellence that our clients have come to expect from us. But with the added president title, I will work more closely with our CEO, Johan, on the long-term vision and overall strategy for Community IT. And ultimately, Carolyn, I think my focus personally will be, on structuring our company for ongoing and that sustainable growth that we want to, continue to have, building on the strong foundation that we have been able to create together for the past few years now.
That was going to be my next question was, in the pandemic and the shutdowns, we had to change a lot. Nonprofits changed a lot. The nonprofit sector changed a lot. Our country changed a lot, how we work and how we do our work. And we grew a lot. You've just said you've been at Community IT for 20 years. Can you talk about the challenges of that growth in the last 4 or 5 years and our successes?
Yeah, that's an excellent question. And you're right, that period since the pandemic has been one of a deep transformation for Community IT. And like many MSPs, many in our industry, the shift in how the world operated opened up big opportunities, and Community IT was not the exception. And I would say that the main challenge was managing our quick shift from being an MSP serving the Washington, D.C. metropolitan area to becoming a national provider for the nonprofit organizations nationwide. It really failed, and I have mentioned this so many times, and Johan has too, failed like we were fixing the airplane mid-flight. And there were several things that we had to do to make sure that the consistency on the service delivery didn't suffer. We had to focus on staff augmentation. So, hiring, we were hiring and hiring and hiring. We're focusing on process standardization and at the same time leveraging the emerging technologies that were also kind of, making that big leap because of that. Operationally, the biggest challenge I would say was managing the big scale on our hiring process effort. We expanded our team by nearly 50% in about 2 years, which could require us to completely overhaul our and standardize and also automate our recruiting processes, our new hire onboarding processes. Because at the same time, like I mentioned, we were becoming a remote office, and we wanted to preserve our culture, and we wanted to preserve the quality of service delivery. That's very important. So staff augmentation was one process. I think the other one that I want to mention is the fact that we were onboarding a record number of new clients, right? We almost doubled our pre-pandemic client base. So that also forced us again to streamline the new client onboarding processes, as well as focusing on nurturing that new staff that we were adding so that we provided consistency and positive experience for those new clients that were coming in. And you asked about challenges and also kind of, successes. And it's very interesting to think that navigating these challenges is actually what led us to our great successes in my mind. We successfully transitioned again, right, to becoming a mostly virtual company. And also that allowed us to expand our talent pool nationwide. And not only we became an MSP that served the U.S., but also, that opened doors for adding new talent. As we were growing, we were able to provide more competitive salaries, attract excellent talent. And ultimately, while the growth was very tough, our biggest achievement in my mind is the incredible team that we were able to build. We've been truly blessed to have such a dedicated and talented staff who rose to every occasion, because it wasn't easy.
Yeah. I feel like community IT also had a few things in place that really helped us provide those services. So because we had been working exclusively with nonprofits and
Mhm.
we had been advising and recommending and helping our pre-pandemic clients move to the cloud. That had
Mhm.
been part of our recommendation for years at that point,
Mhm.
was to move
Yep.
off of servers and into the cloud. And I
Yeah.
think knowing how to do that successfully and having a lot of experience in
Mhm.
doing the IT support for nonprofits that are in the cloud really positioned us well at that moment when
Mhm.
a whole bunch of, like you said, we doubled our clients and they were all coming to us for being able to work remotely.
Mhm.
And we
Mhm.
were like, yeah, we know how to do that.
We know how to do
So,
it. Right. It was a
yeah.
matter of having the resources to kind of, do that at a bigger scale. Yeah, no, I totally agree with that.
And I think that that also points to another strength of community IT in that we we are always the technicians that I talk to and the teams that I talk to, we're always looking ahead and trying to find the technologies that will help our clients move into the future. So, which was one of the reasons we were already recommending that people get off of a physical server and into the cloud, because it
Mhm.
creates all of those efficiencies and saves money as well,
Mhm.
which is something we're always advising to our nonprofit, or we understand where our nonprofit clients are coming from in that. And so I think that probably, compared to some MSPs that are maybe more rigid or more,
Mhm.
this is the tool that we use and you use this tool.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Being flexible and having kind of the diverse knowledge on different tools helped us a lot, right? Because we meet our clients where they are, and some of them use the Microsoft stack, some of them use the Google stack, some of them were kind of using Zoom at that point, and we were able to just kind of switch through those technologies. Yep.
And I think it's also something about the MSP model that we talk about a lot, where if you have one IT person on your staff who's trying to do everything for your staff. They have to wear all those different hats of knowing how to migrate a server and be able to be the help desk and also take on any projects that you're trying to do. And when you have an MSP, not only are you benefiting from all of our wonderful staff that you just described, all of the people who have lots of ideas and interests and experience and expertise in providing this service, but we also learn so much from our clients, right? So if you're a client and you want to do a certain type of migration, we probably have other clients who've already done it. So we have best practices that we can share with you.
Right. Yeah. And I think that was, again, the focus on process, right? When there's a lot of chaos, you have to have processes in place. Yeah.
And that was a big part of your role and a big part of just your talent in being able to see through the noise and help us have these processes and standardization and draw on all of those experiences and build it into best practices. So that was going to be my next question was if you could talk a little bit about your career in IT and operations, where you were challenged, what has helped you succeed. I mean, this is obviously such a amazing promotion and, your leadership at our company is, has led to this this position. But I wonder for others listening, like HR staff, managers, job seekers, what advice would you give on recognizing talent and creating those opportunities? And just if you could reflect a little bit back on your career as well, what helped you over the years?
Yeah, that's a kind of a little bit of a packed question. So I'll try to concise, right? That so I would say in terms of my career in IT and operations, it has been, I've been with community IT for almost 2 decades. And, like I mentioned, I think my career in IT and operation has been a story of growing with community IT. And I've had the privilege of seeing the company evolve. And I have been also growing alongside with it. And I'm grateful to have had that opportunity. Again, I think the most significant challenge in my career was without doubt the period of the hyper growth that we experienced after the pandemic. I mean, there was a lot of things going on, and operationally, it meant rebuilding processes, like I mentioned, the different processes: hiring, client onboarding, growing our staff by 50%, and to doubling our client base, and all of these at the same time as becoming a remote first company. And I think what has helped me succeed through those times, and I think I will narrow that to 2 core principles. One is, I think, a deep-seated belief in process. And you know me, we've worked together for a long time, and that's very important to me. And I think in times of chaos, having solid standard processes are what allow us to scale without sacrificing quality, right? That's, I think, very important. And the second one, and most importantly, I think it has been our relentless focus on our people. Technology and operations don't run themselves, right? We need talent, and I think we've been able to attract dedicated, talented people, and that has been individuals, and that has been great for community IT. I think trusting the team, giving the staff the right tools to succeed, listening to what they have to say, to their suggestions, to their insights, because they're on the front lines, and I think that factor has been very critical for our success, especially navigating all the challenges that came up as we were growing, with the challenges that we were facing. In my opinion, listening to staff was critical for us. So I think that's kind of the challenges and then my career in terms of advice and recognizing talent. When we in the period that we were, kind of hiring and augmenting our staff, we had so many resumes, right? And And a resume can shows you what someone has done. But I think what we learn through that process is that as we talk to those individuals, we had some good questions to dig into their problem-solving skills, their curiosity, because, that will reveal what they can really do, right? I think so. That's one part. The other part that it was super important for us was cultural fit. But cultural fit can mean, looking for people that it has affinity, right, with kind of what you do. But I would push that a little bit further than that. And I would say that we're also kind of looking for people that could contribute to make that culture even stronger. And to us, that was looking for talent that brought a new perspective, different backgrounds, a different skill set, having a diverse team. And I think that's what makes community IT unique, is having staff with those different perspectives, with those different backgrounds, different experience. And that actually has strengthened our culture a lot. And I feel like now I'm revealing too many secrets, but I think that being a diverse company, I think it's very important and what makes us unique and definitely a part of our success. So that's one. And then the last one, in terms of creating opportunities for staff, right? Because when we bring talented staff, we attract that. We want to make sure that we keep that. We keep our talent in the company. So I think looking for ways to invest in your people. And sometimes when we think about investing in our people, we think about sending them to these expensive trainings and all of that. And that's important. But I think having a culture of knowledge sharing creates camaraderie, right? And I think there is so much that we can learn from each other. And by doing that, it adds up to our uniqueness as a company. Providing a safe space to learn and a safe space to try what you have learned. I mean, creating that kind of openness and a safe space to do that. And lastly, having a clear path for career growth. I think, when you have motivated staff, you want to provide those opportunities to learn, to do knowledge sharing, to sharpen their skills, but also kind of, they want to have a goal, like what's next for me? What else can I learn? And having a clear path for that has been very important for community IT in terms of retaining talent.
Mm-hmm. I have one final question, which is, we are 100% employee-owned company and have been for a while now. Can you just talk briefly about what impact does that have on all of the things that you just discussed? Like having a supportive environment, having a lot of diversity, valuing different opinions, but sticking to those core values.
As employee-owned company?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I would say that as employee-owned company, we kind of feel like we all have a stake on the success, right, of our company. And I think for sure that is something that has contributed to the culture that we have, and culture of work-life balance, a culture of a culture of team building, or a culture of learning together. And I think that part of staff development, that part of working together for the better good, right? Supporting nonprofit organizations, it's definitely what makes us unique in the sector.
Thank you so much for your thoughts today, Johanny, and your time. And congratulations again. I know I speak for a lot of people at Community IT and being so happy and proud and pleased that you have this new position.
Thank you so much, Carolyn, for the opportunity.
Community IT does these free webinars and podcasts for our community, and we love sharing our knowledge and experience. If you have more questions or are having trouble with your IT at your nonprofit, please get in touch with us on our website, www.communityit.com, so we can start a conversation or schedule an assessment. Downloading any of our free resources there will get you signed up for our webinar reminders, and you can attend our next webinar in real time and ask our experts your own questions. If you love podcasts, please subscribe and leave us a rating to help others find this leadership resource for nonprofits.